So a very common question to me is how do I coach up the recruits in the college recruiting process? So I certainly use my 25 years of being a former NCAA coach, being a founder of UTR, along with doing significant research in the college world. But once the recruit or the family, once we identify schools, then we kind of get down to a nitty gritty. So I'll give you an example of how I coach up players in the recruiting process. Today I'm wearing the Notre Dame brand. Look at that, the big Notre Dame brand right here. Kind of cool. So let's say, for example, if the recruit is very interested in Notre Dame, if the player that I'm working with, the player that I'm coaching is very interested in Notre Dame. So the recruiting process, or the coaching in the recruiting process, would go something like this. Once this school's been identified, and again, Notre Dame's a school. So I would ask the player that I'm coaching up, I'd say, what's the coach's name? Is the coach married? Does the coach have kids? How did Notre Dame finish in the conference last year? What conference is Notre Dame in? How did they finish overall in the last 5 years? How many NCAA qualifications did they have? Ask them questions. Do you know the top 6 players? Do you know any of their names? Did you see the lineup recently? What's their most recent wins? Were they upset this year? By who? I'm asking them questions where they can find these answers. These answers out there. Did the coach go to Notre Dame? What coaching tree is he under? Meaning like, usually most head coaches, either as a player or as assistant coach, served under another head coach. So, for example, like Bobby Bayless is the men's mentor at Notre Dame. He's not coaching anymore. Current coach coached under Bobby Bayless. The Princeton coach coached under Bobby Bayless at Notre Dame. So knowing these things, this is not a college, this isn't really coaching up the college recruiting process. This is coaching up in life. This is what most people do when they're looking to do business with someone else, hire someone else, or you're looking to work for someone. You do this kind of research. It's no different in the college recruiting process. Absolutely no difference. So knowing this kind of information is extremely important because it helps you make a better decision. But now you're interested, you're showing interest into a program. Now they're going to be more interested in you. And if you are a player that's looking for scholarship, keep that to yourself. Mention that later. That'll happen in the recruiting process. They get it. So you don't need to come out with some email that says, dear coach at Notre Dame, my name is, my UTR is, my ranking is, and I'm looking for a full scholarship. You don't need to say all that stuff. These coaches are good. You give them the name. You're showing that you are interested in them. They'll do their research. They're going to go on social media and look you up. So don't have any goofy pictures on there. And they're going to look up your ratings, your rankings. They're going to become more interested in you. So that's what I do as a coach in the college recruiting process. And then later on, we organize visits and evaluations, and then we'll get to the decision process later. So coaching up the college recruiting process. That's how it goes.